Hello and welcome to the good, the bad, and the ugly series. Where today we're going to be looking at the favorites going into the 2026 World Cup, and that of course is the Spanish national team. Now, when I look at the good, is a team that literally plays like a club team. Yeah, man, I don't know what it is, but sometimes I look at Spain and I forget that I'm watching international football. It looks like a team that didn't just try to put the best 11 on the pitch of who they had available, but it actually looks like a team that went out into the transfer market and got exactly what they needed to play their style of football. And I think that is just a testament to Spanish football as a whole. It is crazy to think that a team that won its first ever international, title in 2008 to have such a meteoric rise and to see the level of impact, heritage, and overall just footballing culture that they display both on and off the pitch is truly incredible. Everything about them, from how their clubs do, at the European stage when it comes to the Europa Leagues or Champions Leagues, to the style of football that they play that has been a model for almost every single team to emulate. And when it comes to the amount of managers that they have at the highest levels, coaching the best teams in the world, I don't really think there's a single other nation out there that has that amount of Spanish, like that amount of managers that are actually doing such an incredibly good job. It is truly incredible what Spain does. And that's, I think, their biggest strength and their biggest asset. They know exactly how they're going to play. It's 4-3-3, total football, possession base, constant rotations, triangles, and it doesn't matter who comes in or who comes out. It doesn't matter what generation it is, what substitutions you're making, what starting 11 you're playing. They're going to deliver a very high level of product and a footballing that is not only fantastic to see, but also incredibly effective to get the result, and that's the good for them, really.
Yeah, they're a team that they're as perfect pretty much as they come when it comes to like their playing style. It looks like everybody knows what they're doing. Like you said, they don't even look like a national team because most of the time, like when you look at a national team, you just kind of put the best players out there and you hope for the best. Here is the complete difference. Like you see, like even like the movement in the players. I think also the fact that most of them like that they have a high number of Barca player and the fact that they play together like might help a little bit, but even when they did like in the Euros, a lot of those guys were not even playing together, and you could still
Yeah,
see that it was like one clear idea. Guys pretty much like going the same way. Everybody like linking up like the right way. They are just pretty much as perfect as it comes when it comes to pretty much everything. Like even their center backs, like they're not trying to I'm like to anybody. Like they know that they want the good ball playing, like technical center backs. They know that they're not trying to get the physical guy.
yeah,
It's just amazing, like you said. Like even their own coach, which I don't rate like very highly, but he has gotten it right. Which it just shows you like what you were saying, like how good like they are when it comes to like even coaches. This guy's probably not even what a top maybe 6, 7, maybe top 10 Spanish coach, and look how well he has his team playing. So that just goes to prove how good they are and why, without a doubt, they are like rightfully so like the favorites to win this tournament.
yeah, definitely so. And of course, they you look at that team and it is littered, and I mean littered with technical quality. But one thing that they don't have is an on and out goal scorer. And I think maybe that's the bad of the Spanish team, right? That it's very easy to look at them and say, where are you going to get the goals? I mean, I think leading the line is Mikel Oyarzabal, the who is traditionally a left winger, but who's going to be playing as a false nine for Spain. I think Dani Olmo is going to be the one that is going to be rotating with him in and out of that particular position. And it is, if someone wanted to look at the Spanish team and say, "Hey, there's no clear goal scorer here," I think that's going to make it difficult for them. I'd say, fair point, but I also don't think it's going to hurt them as much because I know Lamine can score goals. I know Miguel can score goals. I know Nico can score goals. Asking Pedri, asking Fabian Ruiz, asking Milko Marino, asking Danny Olmo. I mean, that's just like what you get when you have a very technically gifted side. I think this is a team that's going to distribute the goals all throughout, that's going to have an overload of chances, and I think it's just going to be a matter of time whether or not they actually put one behind the net. But it is a potential concern, especially if they play a team that's going to be constantly interrupting the rhythm, making the game very ugly, and not really letting them kind of have too much time on the ball. That could be a problem, but it's one that we do suspect Spain to be able to overcome.
Yeah, I think a lot of people might actually say it's kind of like I could see like both sides because like a lot of people like might agree with what you're saying, Javi. It's like okay, where is the good number nine, right? But a lot of
Mm,
others might say, well, but if you see them, they're a team that they constantly score goals. because they create so much, and like you said, like so many different players who score. I think for me, like the only time that I might actually see that be a negative for them is when they play a very good team. Like when they play a very good team, like you said, that's interrupting the game, that's not letting them sort of like fluid like in the game. I think that's where it might hurt them when they need just like a very good like number nine that could just turn a half chance into a goal. That's where
Mm.
like that might hurt them. But yeah, like I agree with you. It's kind of it's a coin that I see both sides of it because it's true that they don't have a Harry Kane, an Mbappe, or Haaland, but they're also a team that they create so many chances. So I'm guessing that the Spanish fans and the Spanish media will probably be hoping that they are more like a Barcelona type team. That even though they don't have a clear number nine, but just the fact that they create so many chances, it just
Mm.
pretty much gives goals to everybody like around the team.
Yeah, 100%. And I think that like that, let's say like half a chance that you kind of need sometimes when you're playing against a team that's making it very difficult for you. I think that Spain's inability to probably score that particular goal isn't necessarily a lack of a number nine, but rather a lack of, I think, an inability to actually adapt to the opposition. And I think this leads us to the ugly about the Spanish national team. And I think there is a reason why they've done a lot better when it comes to the performances in the Euros than they've done in the World Cup, especially with some, let's be real, some very, very terrible exits. I think in 2014 we saw a group stage exit, 2018 very early exit on penalties, and I think same thing in 2022. And I think it could very well be the same thing in 2026. And I think the reason for that is that Spain does not seem to be able to get over the line where they need to win a game ugly. When you have a team that is interrupting the rhythm of the game, that is constantly fouling, that is making it a very ugly game, that has a team that is constantly playing the long ball, that are basically setting up not to beat you, but to stifle you, Spain doesn't really seem to have the ability to find an alternative way of winning the game. And ultimately, when it comes to penalties, they don't really seem to be able to get over the line in that particular aspect either. And this is the biggest concern about the Spanish national team, especially when it comes to the World Cup in particular. And Yali, I want you to elaborate a little bit more on that because I think many people tend to miss that particular aspect about the Spanish team.
Yeah, like you said, how it's very clear why they do so great in Euros and struggle so much in the World Cup. And the Euros is pretty much like you said, it's like a club game. They have the European referees, they have the great pitches, they have the great weather, so it's just perfect for them, and they're able to play their own style. When it
And the
comes to the
opposition
World
also
Cup
wants to
as
play
well,
the
and
same
the
way. Yeah.
opposition wants to play exactly. When it comes to the World Cup, if you think about it, like you said, in 2014 they lost to Chile, and then in the last World Cup, they lost to Morocco, which is an African team. These are teams from different federations that they play different, and yeah, that's always been the question for them. That's why Spain, believe it or not, is a team that's only been in like to World Cup semifinals once in their lifetime, because
Crazy.
when you come to the World Cup, you don't know who you're gonna get, and yeah, you might get a team that on paper is so much worse than you, but if that team has a game plan and you don't have the and you can adapt to that game plan that those people are putting, that's where you get caught. I think for them, this tournament it's huge for them. They
Mm.
haven't. I can't remember like the last time that they came as favorites with such a great squad, and it's now or never. They need to show that they could adapt and play different styles, not just their style. Because like even given the fact that we get an extra game now, this is an extra knockout game where they're gonna probably play a team from a different confederation, and they have to show up. Since 1998, France has played 4 World Cup finals. They have won two and they have lost two, which you could lose as many as you want. You're just playing 4 World Cup finals. That's probably what
That's insane.
like more than 50%
Yeah,
of
I
the
mean, we have
like numbers of
98,
like a
oh
total.
02, oh 06, 10, 14, 18, 22. They've been in 4 out of 6 finals.
That just tells
That's
you everything.
insane.
And and Spain has only been in one. Yes, to be completely fair, France has had amazing players, generational players, but I would stack up the Spanish players up there with those French players. I think they're as good, if not even better. So,
Yeah.
and why is that? Because the French players have sort of learned to adapt, to play physical when they have to shake house when they have to play great football when they have to. And we've seen it. And I'm sorry, but that whole thing of I'm just gonna play my game and I'm gonna come here and I'm gonna impose my style. That's great. You could do that in the Euros with with that type of referee, with that type of atmosphere, with that type of crowd. Here, what tells you that, for example, Spain go on, you could watch our bracket. I don't remember if when we did our bracket video, we had them playing any. anybody from
Funnily, I
another
was looking at
confederation.
that
I
right
think
now.
they're
If the
all
group
Europeans, right?
all European sides, and we both
So
know that
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 would
group is not going to come out how we predicted it. That is a fact. Yeah.
so if they get all Europeans, that would be great for them. But what tells you that in the round of 16, for whatever reason, they get Colombia, who's very doable, and now they get a referee from El Salvador, and this guy is gonna let everybody just kick you, and you need to adapt. Next thing you know, you can't find the goal. There's no rhythm, penalties, and you're out of there. Just like it
Yep.
happened, like against Morocco, 4 years ago. So that's where I think it's now or never for them. They have never been this good. They have never had so many since 2010, pretty much. That they were
Yeah.
so good that they just went and won it. But they're so good now. They are the favorites. They have arguably like the best player in the world. They have Pedri. I'm Nico Williams. They're so deep. They just need to show it. And I think this is one of those type of World Cups that you're really gonna need to show it, because if you tell me, oh, there's like in Qatar where like the stadiums were very nice, the weather was pretty good. Russia, like like European stadiums. Okay, maybe you could like play around with it. Here, you get football stadiums, NFL stadiums, bad pitches. I am not expecting. I'm good refereeing. I'm expecting very bad weather. They're gonna have to adapt and change their style if they actually want to like see this through.
Yeah, 100%. And I want to make it clear, it's not change their style and abandon their philosophy in its entirety, but it's just understanding what the demands of the game are and being able to adapt in
Yeah,
real time. And unlike any other sports where you can, call a timeout, like here, the game continues to run and you have 15 minutes at halftime to figure it out. And if these Spanish can find a way to score in a different manner, make it a more physical game, do a little bit more direct one, if they want to continue to kind of play the game and think that some of these teams are going to let them play football, they're in for a rude
yeah,
awakening. And hopefully, the Spanish national team has finally learned its lesson after 3 very disappointing World Cups. Now's the time. So we shall soon see if they're going to figure it out. But that is the good, the bad, and the ugly of the Spanish national team. Let us know what you guys think. Are we over kind of estimating the opposition and the factors that go into a World Cup, or is Spain just way too strong heading into this? And are they rightfully the favorites? I'd love to know what you guys think.